Hey, good Sunday morning to you. Hope everything's going good with you. Um, this is the new format, which is cigars, food, and my local politics would be Trumbull County, Ohio, Niles, Ohio specifically. And to my new subscriber, whoever you are, thank you. To the 66 who have been with me for quite a while, um, there's not going to be a whole lot of national politics on here no more. And that is simply because of the fact that at this point in time, any intelligent person who doesn't know that Republicans, specifically conservatives, are being targeted, and that the all the way from Trump's the impeachments and everything else, that this is all, there's been no substance to any of it. If you aren't convinced by that by now, there is nothing that I can say that will convince you, so there's no reason to talk about it. And there's absolutely nothing that you can say that will convince me that the things that have happened to Trump since he became president and after are anything more than persecution and the absolute rape of our country's laws and our Constitution and Bill of Rights. Now, that's the end of that. The one place that I do argue, or did, was Newsmax. I do not know that I'll be there anymore because somehow, some way, they're not accepting my email address that I've had for my name, my screen name there, because I don't use my real name there. It's no longer accepted. I have no correspondence from Newsmax to indicate that I've been banned or anything like that, nor have I done anything that would warrant banning. I know what the community standards are, and I stick to them. And I can insult you without curse words or threats or anything else. As a matter of fact, some of my insults, unless you're intelligent, you won't know that you were insulted. So I have no clue what that's about. And I do like to vent and argue now and then, and that was a good place to do it because Newsmax shows liberal articles, conservative articles. You never know. 1 minute you'll be reading a Washington Post article, and then you go to a different article, and it's from CNN, or you go to another article, and it's from Associated Press, and you go to, so, it presents both sides of what news has become today. What news has become today is opinion, and you no longer just get the facts like you used to do back in the old days with Walter Cronkite and company. Hunt and Brinkley, you don't get just the facts, and then you make up your own mind on what that is, what that means. No, now you get told what to think. I was watching a CNN interview just the other day with a Democrat, and the Democrat was almost reasonable, but then I listened to the CNN newsman, whatever. I listened to him lead him to the answers that he wanted that were anti-Trump, anti-Republican. And it was, what they did was they took the fact and they cut out everything around it and then used the fact and misinterpreted it and put it out there on purpose. And one of the things that they do, like, fight like hell. They don't say what he said in front of Fight Like Hell. They don't say what he said behind Fight Like Hell. They don't say anything about peaceful. They don't say anything. And he said all those things. They just say Fight Like Hell, and then they pretend that, And sadly, I opened up the comics today, and one of my favorite comics, because I just started having a newspaper delivered again, the Warren Tribune, because Niles City Niles City Council, Niles, the city itself, they publish everything that they're going to do into there. Their legal publishing is in the legal news and in the Warren Tribune. So the way to get that is to get the Warren Tribune. So I started reading the comics again, and I used to love Doonesbury. But that comic strip from Doonesbury today, not only was it not funny, it by any stretch of the imagination, except to some juvenile leftist anti-Trump person. That's the only kind of person. I mean, you'd have to literally, be an immature idiot to find today's Doonesbury funny. Not only that, it was full of crap. There was no proof of rape other than the woman saying that she was raped. Okay? So the idea that jury saying that they're convicting Trump of gross sexual imposition is absolutely ludicrous and should have every American male pissed off, because what that means is, like, I get successful, some woman can come out of the woodwork and convince a liberal jury that knows that I'm a lifelong conservative Republican hawk and a Trump supporter, that 10 years, 15 years ago, we were in some department store and I raped her in a room, in a dressing room, and she never told anybody until like 6 or 8 years later when she told a couple of friends, and then she sues me for defamation when I deny the rape. And a jury, because they hate Trump, because they're a bunch of whatever liberal scumbags, for a lack of a better definition, they find, this is a defamation trial, and they find him guilty of gross sexual imposition, and then they award the woman millions of dollars because Trump said, I didn't rape her. Nobody has proved that there was ever a rape. Period. It hasn't been proven. We have now gotten to a point in America where juries will punish somebody unjustly because they don't like them, because they don't like their political views. Here, there is a woman who I put her signs in my yard back when she first ran, and I'm not going to mention the person's name, but everybody that sees this video, you'll know who I'm talking about if you're from this area. I respect that man and still do to this day, even though he's a Democrat. And that Democrat told me Frenchco was the person. So I'm like, okay, she's Republican, and I got a Democrat telling me she's the one for the county commissioner spot. I'm going to go ahead and put her signs in my yard. Because at that time I was a registered voter in Florida. That's where I lived. I didn't live here. I didn't vote here. So that's the best I could do, was put her signs in my yard. But it turns out that this woman is a complete freaking nutbag. That, and she's just, even if she wasn't a nutbag, I'm thinking she would just be a caustic, unpleasant person. So because I openly bash her on my Facebook page and here now on the new improved Richard Strong, I Smoke Cigars and Know Things, I'm bashing her here too. So what, is somebody going to come out of the woodwork and say I raped him years ago and then get me on a jury of her peers, people that like her, and that jury finds me guilty of it, even though there's no proof and there was never any charges filed and nobody said anything for 15 years, and my only real crime is denying that I raped her, and that wasn't a crime because I didn't rape her? If you think that was a good thing that happened to Trump, that is what you're supporting. You're supporting a jury ignoring facts, ignoring law, and punishing somebody for what they are or believe. And now to my real point. I had disassociated myself with pretty much everything, all YouTube, other YouTube channels, because the people that oppose me at Niles, even though I'm not running for anything yet, they know my past. They know that I had a criminal career that spanned about 25 years after I got out of the service. In addition to owning painting companies and working for painting companies. I mean, you know, I made legitimate money during that time as well. And so they've decided that they're going to be telling everybody that. And I also did, you know, found out that I used to work for the pornography industry. And no, I wasn't a star. I worked for bookstores, specifically a chain owned by the Gold family in Cleveland, Ohio. But I quit these other YouTube channels because I really didn't want anything that I would say over there to be brought, you know, up. I got enough baggage. So I pretty much quit them all. Now there was 3 people who I had met through YouTube. They're content people, and we've actually met in real life. One of them I really became fond of, but he's got a complicated life, and you know, he's got a lot on his plate, and that would be Vilified Freedom, and he has a bunch of channels, and I find him very amusing. I find him fun. And I would go, if I were you, if you're looking for something to laugh, and Sovereign Citizens, Karens, Darrens, Moorish Americans, that sort of thing. Plus, I hear he's going to be doing some murders and mysteries. I would suggest him. But the reason I'm talking about him is because he's like one of the 3 people that I really wanted to stay in touch with from YouTube, but on a personal level, not here. And that's up to him. One of the other 2 hasn't contacted me yet, and one of them has, and we're going to continue on a personal level, because I'm just not going to give that kind of ammunition. They already got enough. Luckily for me, I've always been really upfront about my past, because it's my past. But my point to all this is, VF had a friend, a supporter that had been with him for years. And I, being around Vilified Freedom's channels, had the occasion to meet this person as much as one can meet anyone, just strictly on the internet. And Axrod Union, I believe I hope I'm pronouncing that right, was his handle. And he also went by Blue, and that's what VF knew him as. And sadly, he passed away. You saw a video a while back where 1 or 2 ago, or maybe even the last one, where I said I was praying for him, and I mentioned that if you got my phone number, call me. Well, he did, and it turns out that he's made comments on my channel. Now, you know, the last couple, and I deleted every one of my old videos, and his comments didn't post. And I don't understand why. Now, I've gotten calls from a few friends here that my comments don't post on your YouTube channel. YouTube, come on, what the heck? I'm not fomenting insurrection over here. I'm not trying to start an armed rebellion. I'm not selling child pornography. I'm not selling sex slaves. I'm not doing anything illegal. And the stuff that I'm saying really is not seriously controversial. Not even today, what I said, which is, that's going to be the most you're ever going to hear. This one is going to be the most you're ever going to hear about national politics out of me on this channel, because that's just not what it's for. Oh, and by the way, this is a Davidoff Escurio, and it's the Robusto. And as I've said before, Davidoffs are good. Dark, spicier, fuller bodied. Light wrapper, lots of flavor, lots of body, very little spice. And no such thing as a bad cigar in that line. There just isn't. So if you like a good cigar and you want a shorter one for the whatever reason, a Robusto is a good sized cigar to go to, and that's what I'm smoking today. And what's for supper today is I'm going to make cabbage noodles. That's right. Cabbage noodles with kielbasa. So you see, YouTube, I just don't understand why you're not posting comments. I know these people that are trying to post, that their posts aren't showing up. They're not posting blank you Biden or blank you anybody. They're not posting, homophobic crap. We could care less. People that I know and people that follow me could care less about they thems. That's they them's problem. Not my problem. I don't care about it. It means nothing to me. I don't care if you want to pretend you're a tree. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. Be whatever. Pretend you are whatever you want to be. It doesn't bother me. I just don't understand. If there's somebody out there, or YouTube, if you're moderators, somebody's got to be looking at this channel, because you disallow comments. So why? For what reason? Anyways, again, VF, I'm sorry for your loss, and I was a subscriber of his as well, and yeah, that's just part of life. We don't get out alive. And with that, I'm going to steal VF's line. Jesus loves you, so do I. You guys have a blessed day.